move on to our second and final match of the day. We got the week two challenger tournament match between Ryu and Screwloose.
Rio is how he likes it
Oh,
pronounced. So
okay. So Rio. All right. Anyway, however you say it, I'll go with Rio from now on.
I like Ryooo
Yeah,
like the wolf.
I like Ryu. All right. Anyway, let's look at picks and bans first. Looks like Screwloose had the first ban of High Rise. That's an understandable ban, potentially a targeted ban against either against Rio or just someone who doesn't like uh you know doesn't like soft tile maps.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
there could be a lot of
Ooh,
finishers on a high rise.
the second ban hurts though. Rio bans Courtyard.
Interesting.
Wow, that's like one of the more standard maps, but
Yeah.
definitely gives the spy chances. So maybe just not feeling comfortable enough on it.
Yep. All right. Anyway, oh man, are we gonna see a bunch of 5 8 maps again? Yes, we are. First map shall be Double Library.
Hmm.
In case you
Well,
haven't
I'm
seen
I'm
enough
glad to
library
see.
today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we only got to see the two at the end of that map. They both were very long games.
Yep.
I'm very. It'll be a lot of fun to play, or a lot of fun to see because it's one of the maps where laser placement matters more than basically anything else. Now you can whip around, but it actually means there's huge like unless you're doing some interesting things with your window size, you can only see about a third of the map at any given time.
All right. Anyway, the the first pick out of Rio is Modern. Another 5 of 8.
Interesting. Oh, I also want to mention. Sorry, this is going back to last map, but I believe tomorrow's cast is going to have Shep versus Watermeat. So the cast that we
Oh,
just finished,
so the next match.
right? So tomorrow will, if you guys have gotten into the narrative of seeing
Yeah.
Watermeat pull out through a really close match, tomorrow you'll get to see how they do versus Shep. He's a very
Yeah.
strong player, but this was a great match from Watermeat, but very stressful.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how that'll go through, and that'll be the first game of tomorrow's.
Oh, and the other thing
Sorry.
sort of worth mentioning actually about this match, Screwloose, this is his second. He won the round one match despite being at least seed wise a big underdog. He was 57 going against an 8, so it was I mean, I believe Screwloose was a late joiner, so that's the main reason they're lower seed. So
Yeah,
now
I was just about to say,
yeah.
Screwloose has 2,500 games. He has a lot of experience, but he only joined in the last week of
Yeah, so
Challenger, so
that's
he does not have much like tournament experience. So I think it could really run away from him if he like loses a spy game or a sniper game. It can be really easy to just go downhill from there.
yep.
So I think maintaining the composure is going to be huge. Uh, he also with Rio, I know he joined weeks. It looks like he joined week 6 and did pretty well.
Okay.
And he lost to Catnip in the Summer Cup 3-5, which makes me think that he's been playing a lot because Catnip is no slouch in Spy Party.
That is true. All right. Anyway, second pick out of Screwloose is Gallery. Yay! More Gallery.
Lots of big maps,
Yeah.
and also stressful maps. Where one of the things that maybe this gives a little bit more light onto the courtyard ban. Courtyard's a very comfortable map for sniper, and
Yep.
so Ryu might be trying to. Ryu just in general might know that maybe Screw Loose likes comfort maps, and getting those comfort maps out of the pool might help them out. Where
Yep.
that might be where the competitive experience might show a little
Yeah.
bit.
And man, that might prove true because Ryu chose with the second pick another map that's not necessarily comfortable for a lot of players is pub.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how players react to. I mean, mostly around purloin and statues are the big things that pub changes around. Where statues, the one inspect, and then basically the fact that at any point with 30 seconds you can get half your missions done, like without anything else basically going in. And honestly, if you go into pub, like you you can make up ground on pub very quickly, and so it's a spot where a bunch can happen all at once just because of the compact nature of the map.
All right, and the third pick coming out of Screw Loose is pretty standard one, Ballroom.
Yeah,
Kind of
ballroom,
like the
like
most standard map of them all in some ways.
yeah, and ballroom is very standard, but the thing that I just love about ballroom, and I think I've probably mentioned before on the cast, is the dynamic cover.
Yep.
And so spies that are able to correctly identify how the cover changes in a certain situation is amazing. It's a wonderful map. It's very fluid. It's to me maybe the if I had to pick a map that like an entire tournament would be played on, I think I'd actually choose ballroom. I think it is so interesting to see how snipers and spies react to how fluid the conversations are and what happens. And every mission is pretty viable on the map. And it's got a great inner mission map parity. So yeah, a great standard pick, but also interesting map. So let's get it wrong. Where there's standard as in played a lot, and that's definitely true for ballroom. And then there's standard as in more comfortable, which is where I'd put courtyard.
Yeah, I would agree. Anyway, the final pick coming out of Ryooo is Terrace, an interesting one.
Ooh, I really hope that we go to that because I'm curious to see how people play that map because I have not developed a set strategy on that one, so that would be
No,
just new
I think
research
a
for
lot. I
me.
think a lot of us, maybe old timers, are waiting for uh, the time to be upped on that map by default.
Yep.
To be up to make it a little bit more comfortable map for
Yeah.
us normal people.
Yeah, important thing to know is that it is 2 minutes 30 seconds on that, not the 3 minutes that seems to be more standard. So
Yeah.
a lot tougher to win as spy. Just, the BB is not as good as it was in Double Modern. Plus, with like the lower time, it's just tough to get all those
Yep.
missions done or even frame somebody.
All right. Anyway, we're going to the first map. Looks like we got Skrewwl00se gets to be the first spy as Seek. And we're ready to go in 3, 2, 1, planet.
So Seek is an interesting character on this map because Seek isn't quite as wide as General, but Seek has the ability to do some statue blocking. But Seek is also very fast. So Seek has an interesting combination of speed and the fact that we can do swap blocks later on. We're also setting up in the bug spot, which has just been absurdly popular as of late. So I'm wondering if we're going to sit around here.
Oh yeah, I would not be surprised to see that.
Here it
And here
comes.
we
Oh nope
didn't
nope.
didn't even
Unfortunately,
attempt
does
for
not
it.
go around. Yeah.
But looks like the ambassador is gonna be invaded soon with personal space, so maybe another opportunity coming up right here.
Nope. See, Ambassador's sick of that too. Ambassador's like, nope, go learn new tricks. Not doing it.
Yeah, and Screwloose has had enough of waiting around. Wants to get some mission progress.
All right. Well, unfortunately, going for that did cost us quite a bit of time for really not much benefit. We are at 20% on Seduce. And perfect. I love it. This is something we didn't see in the last match that I really would have liked to see more. Although we do get highlight, and I wonder if that's actually why. I think I would assume it must be. So this is something that I would like to see out of the last set of the players is, hey, you notice that you burned a lot of time. You can already think like, can I really get 4 3/4 missions done in 3 minutes on this map? It's gonna be tough. Let me add time. Now that said, we do go for the bug and we do not get it.
Yeah, just a
Um,
little too late on that timing there. If we were just a little bit little fast with that, then we would have hit that for sure. Just unfortunate there.
I'm really curious if I don't know how you guys do this, but do you guys watch replays? Like even like do you scan replays? Do you watch replays in competitive matches?
Generally, no.
Yes.
Maybe if
I
I've
would
missed something, or if, yeah, want to see, like, if there was a mission that got stuck by me, I might watch that mission, but mostly I don't.
Right. That's usually what I'll do too. Usually I'll also just watch the first minute just to see like what they're getting done. Like what are they going to go for immediately? Like if they're going for soft hulls quickly, if they're like breaking animation to like chase flirt or something like that. Usually I'll just watch the first minute because that's usually like people usually stick with the same openers for the most part. Like they'll go for flirt every single time, or they'll go for fingerprint every single time. So I feel like that's the most exploitable part of a spy.
All
No,
right,
I think you're right.
and unfortunately, Screw Loose ran into the one downside of being a fast character is that you definitely can't do those kind of bugs with the ambassador walking in the opposite direction because there's just not enough time and it
Yeah,
being way late. For sure,
yeah,
but anyway, good catch from Ryu. Probably helps that he was, a suspect from the time ad.
yep.
So he's being
And
watched.
also, like, really wanted that bug where we would have seen twice Seek in the bug spot.
Yep.
All
Right.
right.
Anyway, on to the next one. We'll see if Ryu can pull off a win here as Spy to go ahead early. 3, 2, 1, planet.
So we have the option of maybe we're trying to rush a statue if we want to real quick. We do pass it up where Ambassador and Toby were both in the middle of the map and we were on the far side of the map. Fortunately, we're not a very quick character nor a very tall character. But sometimes you can sneak in a swap right there before this sniper is able to see anything. And I also want to piggyback on something that Yeesh said right at the end of the last match is looking at like the first minute or so of a replay because that is the spot where the game is wide open for Spy. You know, you're not being corralled sort of by the luck of the game into a certain playstyle where it's like, oh well, Ambassador's just been not really behaving this game, so I'm not going to really go for them. Or it looks like the sniper's really been camping Purloin, so I'm not going to do that. The first minute or so of the game, especially the first 30 seconds, the game's wide open. They can do whatever they want, where they tend to go to their comfort openers, right? Like usually it's seduction. This time it was a fingerprint into seduction.
But yeah, probably a common play from Ryu is just Rio is just to look for those fingerprints early, seduce early. Interesting there that he took a a deliberate path to make it look like that he could not be bugging, and even goes for that bug there. That's a very popular bug, but fortunately, Screwloose just was not looking in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that was an interesting bug path where the path afterwards up through the inner part of the circle, like I was kind of hoping he would go for the other part of the conversation circle because that was more natural to justify why he was taking such a near the green bookcase path, but it doesn't get noticed. And so right now we have so many options. We are gonna have flirt just about done right here. Oh, I spoke too soon. We read test instead. Um, we're gonna have good progress on flirt. We have a fingerprint done. We have bug done. And then obviously there's contact, and then we might just go to center statues, and then I don't see how it would shoot at that point.
Looks like we're cheesing this flirt, just some stop talk action going on here, and we leave so that we don't get suspected for bug. The ambassador does have a green book, so I think we'll probably go get that book once the ambassador clicks it back, which he's doing right now. Get
Banana bread.
microfilm done as well. This is pretty
Kind
good.
kind of unfortunate almost that we were in the bug spot as ambassador walked by when we weren't going for the bug. So it doesn't look like we pick up any suspicion for it. But DA going on right when there's ambassador going by is a little bit risky. Do we red flirt? Oh no.
ST just bailed on us that
Yeah.
time. And somebody did go to the green bookshelf, so that's not a guaranteed print. So Rio is looking for just a more obvious print, this center statue here. This is also a good plan too. I think this is almost an optimal game of library right here.
So the problem is we're not going to be able to finish our inspects here. So we will probably just seduce and then visit another set of statues. But we have to do it in 50 seconds.
Oh, we do the Twitch to try to get more inspects. This is really suspicious though, especially since Disney was right there. Is Screwloose on top of this?
I think you're right that this is a bit of a risk. Now, the question is, would it be more suspicious than, we put that down too soon. I think. All right, we were booking it, and this. I mean, right here's the moment of truth. Oh my God, seduction target. This has been horrible,
Yeah, now that red flirt from earlier is really hurting us.
and it's
If we
orange
had
dress too, and she gets redirected by Plain Twin. This is like we are such mercy right now. We get a green time ad, and this is gonna get so right now we don't hear it, but oh no, actually we do hear the beeps. So the
oh, this
question
is
is,
like, does he shoot?
but the thing is, why would you shoot? Because you know that wait, we're hovering on them, we're taunting them, but we don't know we're gonna lose.
Oh no, no shot.
So okay, so this is the interesting part of that is so even if we were really suspicious of the green time ad, there wasn't that much that was getting done. We probably thought we were much farther behind. We didn't know that we were green time adding into a flirt right there. I'm pretty sure that skrewwl00se was pretty on top of that, but we were able to just barely get to the last part of the mission that we needed, which was seduction target.
Just not shooting
That's
there.
rough.
Wow, that's huge.
But I mean, like that is the only mission that could have gotten done in that time period, right? So even if we were really suspicious of the green time ad, the only thing that Queen could have done was seduce at that window with orange sorry. So if we thought we were pretty sure about the green time ad, we might actually be looking for something else. We're like, prove to me that you're the spy, sort of a thing. But we didn't know that we were just basically gotten screwed by seduction target. I mean, to be totally honest, I actually don't. I think I would have done the same thing as skrewwl00se. I don't know if I would have been able to shoot in that situation because that was the only thing that could have happened to actually get them to win.
Right.
Right, and with that, Ryooo is up 2-0. We'll see if skrewwl00se can recompose after that. I mean, it's got to be frustrating to have your laser right over the person you suspect is spy, only to have them complete their missions right in front of you. See if you can recover from that in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I still can't get over the laser burning at the end of that. Now, see, the thing is, I actually don't know if it was taunting or the fact that we were about to be at 0 seconds. So it might not actually be like a sort of taunting maneuver or like a super following close maneuver, but rather that we were about to go into a possible overtime. And so not only did he have to hit that green test at the end there, we were also about, let's say that happened 1 second later, there would have been an overtime call on Queen. So actually, the end of that game was even crazier than I initially thought because if just a little bit later, there would have been the automatic overtime of having a green test past 0-0.
Ooh, that was really scary there. We sat in a conversation with the DA and did a no talk for about a good 10 seconds. If Ryooo knows about etiquette at all, that would have been a dead spy right there for 0 missions completed, which would have been a huge like, I don't know, if you get shot for 0 missions as skrewwl00se there, you're in a tough spot. You're already down 2-0. We already kind of talked about his lack of experience in competitive environments. He's going to have to really pull out a win here if he wants to get back into it.
Yeah, and honestly, I would personally be very tilted at this point because the more and more I think about it, I don't think skrewwl00se really made a mistake in not shooting there. And that's got to be so frustrating. We are idling a little bit too much right now, though. I do like that both players went for an early fingerprint, though. I think that's kind of underrated. Is really trying to get that early one and then opening yourself up later for the one near the end, right? Because getting 2 fingerprints in a row looks horrible on library, but scattering the fingerprints over the course of 4 minutes, not that bad.
Right. That's why some early snipers, I've seen a lot more of early highlights for fingerprint. Not usually like highlighting for every possible print, difficult or hard, but a lot more highlights for early fingerprints and early briefcases. So maybe a little bit of a risk there going with that.
It's true, and especially ones that they had to go out of their way for. Like you might not highlight someone that Ambassador was near them, Ambassador left the briefcase, and then they just slightly go over for a second and grab the briefcase. That might not be nearly as suspicious as someone who runs across the map, like Queen did on, I think on the first time we played Library, and got the far corner fingerprint.
We're doing okay on progress though. If we get a bug, we're basically going to be in the same position as Ryooo was in the last game. But if not, we can always rely on swap because we're gonna have to go to the statues again. We could always swap as our last hard tell.
Looks like we are focused laser-like on our seduction target, and we'll finish up here. I think we'll get there in time where there's no way the seduction target leaves. Although we do crowd out Queen. Now, obviously, why would the sniper even be looking over here? Didn't notice that the spot gets taken because there could have been a low light on Queen for a really good stop walk, but nothing really going on.
All right, get this BB soon because otherwise we might lose it. It's a decent opportunity right now with
Well,
only 45
this is an
seconds.
SDA right now, but we could just try to get the fake in.
We do.
Banana
We go
bread.
for the
Oh,
purloin instead of
yep.
the real BB.
Now, Sniper's back over here. I think Ryooo... Oh, well, Sniper's... Okay, what is Sniper doing? Sniper is not low-lighting everybody over there, so I don't think Sniper has identified the purloin yet. Did we gulp? We did gulp. Oh, I think that's what gets us. So I'm wondering if that was a bait then, perhaps. Or if we just actually just noticed the gulp and it just straight up gulp thing.
It's possible. It also might have, like,
Banana
we see
bread.
Irish taking the drink, so we know it had to be the person right before Irish that had it. So not bailing there might have also hurt us a little bit too. I'm not sure though how on top of that Ryooo was. That's a huge lead, 3-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3-0, and this is on skrewwl00se's map pick. That makes it even a little more frustrating for skrewwl00se.
Yeah, and the thing is, the shot, and now that I'm looking at the shot, it looks like the shot was starting before before we noticed the drink had actually disappeared. So it could have just been a sip before then. So I think you're right that he basically identified. He was on top of the fact that purloin was there when Alice was there. The next person took drink, and the purloin was already gone by the time they were taking drink. Had to have been Alice. So just a lot on Ryooo just doing a great job of recognizing the state of purloin at that point in the game.
Yeah, the battle of the big hair is gonna continue here, and now skrewwl00se is gonna have to shoot Ryooo here as he plays Twin, I believe.
Yep, Bling Twin. And we're ready to go in 3, 2, 1, planet.
So we're
Ryooo
stepping
does.
into this game as it's 3U Ryooo, and we're gonna play.
Yeah, Ryooo streams quite often, so I've seen a couple of his streams. He's got the big hair avatar, and I think skrewwl00se also does. I'm not sure if he streams, but I know he also has a picture of him with big hair. So the big hair battle is so far going in the favor of Ryooo.
Oh, I forgot about that. Checker had mentioned that on the forum or the Discord, demanding that there was discussion about which hair was better.
Yep.
Which off the top of your head, do you know which hair is who? So I've seen there's like a hair where it looks like it's photoshopped on to someone like a character, video game character, I want to say, and the other one is an actual picture of a person, which may or may not be the streamer.
I think the picture of the person is the streamer. I think that is Ryooo, and the other person is. I think it is Photoshopped. I'd have to pull the picture though to double check. Besides that, great start right now. Going for the microfilm bug. Bug was very clean too. Twins walking bug is pretty good, so gets away with that pretty free.
And I
And
don't
now
think
looks,
we anticipated going to this microfilm spot right now. I think we wanted the flirt, but we kind of just stopped and like, all right, well, gotta go here anyways.
yeah, I think we'll probably chase Alice and then maybe return the book, or we'll do this now. Sniper's not even looking, so we got
Yeah.
lucky there. But that's a risk. That's a huge risk on library. I like doing the hard microfilm at least. Oh, not at the bookshelf.
Well, not only that, but when we did that hard microfilm, Toby was on our right, and Ambassador was on our left. We were basically the area we were in was gonna get looked at sometime during the white test microfilm. Now that said, when we're looking over there, we might be distracted by two different spots where our eyes are gonna be looking at Ambassador and Toby, where even if our laser is gonna be over them. All right, we just go for the swap. 5 seconds.
All or nothing.
We're not looking. We're not looking. He's gonna get this. He's not gonna identify it in time.
Ooh, looks like he maybe just noticed at the last second, but
Yep,
probably thinking about it too long. Just you have to be really quick on the trigger there, and without BB, you're not really ready for a swap there at all.
Right. Yeah, no, that was great. And so Ryu seems to interpolate mission progress pretty well, where he just makes really good early progress and then is able to either make nice, like not have to rush, or have the ability to rush and then finish in the middle of the game. Where again, you're right. Even if we had 10 more seconds after that to try to figure out what had gone on, I don't know if we'd taken the shot.
All right, and with that, Ryooo manages to sweep Skrewwl00se's pick, and we're gonna move on to Modern.
Especially after that game, the spy got 3 hardtails past you. Might be feeling a little bit on tilt here,
Yeah.
especially in a map where it's like there's a lot of like if you make a single mistake as spy, it can be very difficult
Yep.
to come back on Modern, especially.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, luckily this is the uh, extended set. In these tournaments, so he does have the space for a comeback if he can pull himself together here. We'll find out in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Not only that, but the missions that he had gotten by Screw were the missions where it's just like the game had ended, where it's like, what? You were done? There's no banana bread, no purloin. So some of the more reliable missions for snipers to measure the progress of the match hadn't gone off yet. All right, well, we're in a kind of useless conversation right now. Maybe we're waiting for Seduction Target to settle in somewhere, but that's a lot of time burned on Modern where you actually have to get moving a little bit. Although it actually might pay off. White does not decide to join us, and then we book it to the bar to drown our sorrows.
Yeah, Dragon Australis with this early highlight for 0 mission progress, which is also terrible, especially on Modern. This is just like the worst position you could be in, especially when you need a spy comeback.
Right.
Screwloose is really gonna have to pull something out here.
Do you know why
Get
that highlight
crazy.
occurred?
I do not. I will go back and check after the game because that was very interesting. I don't really understand what it was for.
So it might have been well, not hallucinated, but it might have been an anticipated flirt or something. But we really didn't seem to be doing anything. Maybe it was a break animation. Yeah, we will have to check after the end of the game. But you're completely right. Starting with a highlight on Modern is bad enough that people won't go to statues for it. But we got a highlight for nothing, and so our our progress is going to be tracked more than we'd like. When we do
I
delegate,
love this play.
this delegate's not going to go off in time because of the book, I think.
Right, but I do like that play. He did like a delegate into sip, which makes it look like you're not talking at all, which I really do like. I like these little delegate tricks that we've been seeing new players come up with. The other stream we saw Frosty delegate while holding the briefcase. Now we see delegate while sipping. I really like this. But now Screwloose might have an under idea of what's going on. He was not highlight for statues, and he realizes that the laser did not clearly touch him. So maybe he'll play this game knowing that he's got a highlight.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is, it doesn't look like Teal was identified for this, but Teal dumped the book back in. When you have the delegate, they cram the book back in and immediately leave, and you either know it's the spy or the delegate at that point.
Now here's the spy corner you're talking about. Green swap. I do like this, the comeback, but it does look like Ryooo is on top of this. So we're gonna need to seduce into one more mission. Is it going to be Bug?
Well, let's see. So we're standing near the ambassador. How quickly is this swap going to go off? Pretty quickly. How we are getting an angle on it, so we are looking at it pretty closely. It looks like. I think we see the quick fade now. In fact, or now we can see if Ryu remembers who was there before. Maybe we didn't get as close of a look at the
No
fade as I thought
reaction.
because we're not low lighting Papa and we're not shooting Taft.
I thought we since Rio was looking at the statues, we were going to go for that Bug, but looks like we're going for fingerprint instead, which I don't think is a terrible option. 30 seconds though. We need a fingerprint and we need to seduce.
We reject. We don't pick up the delegate option, which I think is going to be. Wait, was there a fingerprint here? I'm assuming there must
I
have
think
been.
there is. Yeah, there has to be. And he just puts it down immediately, just trying to rush this because he has no time. I can understand his
Let's
decision
see.
here.
Let's see. So I think he has enough time to get this flirt in. I think Ryu's on top of this though.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate. You know, I mean three. I mean, so normally when I say three at bookcase, I'm joking, but in this particular briefcase, I don't know. At least where he stood, there wasn't room for three.
Yeah,
Right.
there wasn't. I mean, obviously, we're in a position where it's like we were just trying to
Yeah,
finish missions altogether. Now, we were going to lose regardless. Ryu was also confident enough in this shot that we didn't wait for overtime. If we were pretty sure about the seduction target, we would have known that he steps into the bookcase about 9 seconds. It's going to take 2 or 3 seconds for the seduction to complete. And then we would have had overtime, but he was so certain that we just take the
yeah.
shot.
This is where it becomes sort of unfortunate. Like as you've mentioned earlier, choosing cast, we have Smallman as ambassador, which is probably one of the least advised characters you want to have as the ambassador. Just just so small. I
Yeah.
mean, he does go unnoticed, but the hands would just go like right over his head in some cases.
It does look like that highlight at the start was attributed to him being at the statues at the start of the game with Cowboy. He was going for it, but Cowboy beat him to it. So it looks like that Rio just saw him there
Yeah,
and
I mean, he
gave him a
technically
highlight.
like technically Screwloose needed to leave a little bit sooner. Like they basically once the statue's picked up, the other character will just leave instantly.
This might have been
So,
a pairing then, an ST pairing.
but yeah, it could have been that. It could have just been an ST pairing.
Oh, nope. Chat says highlight is lucky. Thought he visited statues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's it,
Okay, never mind. Just
it's spy party for you.
yep.
Yeah, it happens.
We go through all of this. Anyway, with that, Rio's up 5-0 now. This is it's getting rough here.
Yeah, we're gonna need to pull a sniper win in order to get some momentum back.
Yep,
So otherwise, this is gonna get out of hand soon. We were saying 4 is reasonable, and it is a reasonable comeback, but
yep.
when you get to 6, it's like you're cutting it close there.
Let's see if we can get the battle of the hair on stream here. Nope. All right. Anyway, we're ready to go, and the next one. Actually, let me switch up the characters here. We got General going as Ryu's first chance to spy on this map. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And so when we're in this sort of deficit, there's an interesting, I don't know, I guess theory about how you should play, and that is playing in a way that you kind of need your opponent to tilt at this point, perhaps. So you might try to go for a lower percentage win, but one that is more distressing for the sniper. So maybe something where you get a bunch of hardtails off all at the same time, like you coordinate your banana bread with a green purloin and a green swap, just to make it feel like the sniper just feels behind and make them stressed out. Because at this point, it's the way that it's going. You need something to break in Ryu's play.
Yep.
Right now, though, just gotta lock it up and play some good sniper. So far, no early fingerprints or hardtails for Rio, which is kind of a surprise considering how much mission progress he got on library. I guess the mission sites are a little more spread out on Modern, so gonna take this one much slower. Looks like we are going to grab this briefcase though,
I don't think
and
we've
there's
seen a
it.
delegate today yet on any map. Like
It's
I
kind of
don't think
surprising.
one that's completed at least.
Yeah, Modern can sometimes be really tricky with a delegate because a lot of the time it just like won't go off due to timer or due to some like repath, which can be quite frustrating as the spy. So maybe not doing it for that reason.
All right. Well, if we don't do the delegate, okay, we will do. I wonder if that's going to be quick enough. I think the extended delegate timer we're going to be okay. Unfortunately, DA leaves. I was just about to say we need to make up a little bit of time here, um, but it's going to be a little bit tough. So we're going to have our mission done with Purloin. It goes off. Seduction target's at bar now, so unless we want to go right back to bar, we don't have an option of ST. The double agent's also at bar, so we might either go for it. It looks like we're just going for inspects. Oh, and fingerprint, I believe, is at the statue.
we did miss the difficult fingerprint on that briefcase earlier, so now fingerprint's kind of not an option. We're not going to the fingerprintable statue at this point. But oh, looks like someone's gonna take a bullet anyways.
Well, it looks like putting a book back. I mean,
Yeah,
it was at
well.
bookshelf with somebody else. I mean, they weren't a highlight prior to this. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what that shot was for.
let's see. So, trying to see if there was sometimes. I think we mistook a page turn perhaps for
Possibly.
green.
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be. I know some players have trouble telling the difference between page turn and green microfilm.
Yeah, her wrist does like her right wrist comes all the way onto the left side, and her head does turn a little bit. So maybe
Yeah.
just think that microphone happened.
Whoops.
That, or we are very envious of her wonderful frizzy hair, and that we want the biggest hair, and this is the elimination of her.
Right. That's the more logical reason.
All right. Anyway, so now Ryooo is up 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, commanding lead, and also based on Ryu's play, very very comfortable, not actually taking too many huge risks. So something's gonna have to happen,
Yep.
break in Ryu, and we'll see if he's able to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. Otherwise, the other players in Challenger might be a little afraid of facing Ryooo now.
Yeah, no kidding. Like on both sides of the, I don't know what to say, both sides of the laser, but both roles have
Yeah.
been very steady, very intimidating
Yeah,
players.
even though it looked like, I mean, on that last map, on the last round, he may have timed out if he didn't really step on it there.
True.
He kind of caught a little. I'm not gonna say luck, but you know, little. Yeah, I guess I will say luck. I was lucky. Anyway, sometimes you need a little luck in this game. It can help, and we'll see if skrewwl00se can mount any sort of comeback here. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, well,
I
we
like
start
this.
at bookcase.
Yeah, this is a great start. I really like getting this early mission progress. And we get Lolit on
It
accident?
must have been a mistake on trying to low light double agent. I mean,
Yeah, but
maybe not
that's
must,
huge.
but
We
now
didn't not be noticed though. That's gonna be huge. We can just win this game now with this delegate.
right. But the thing is, skrewwl00se has no reason to believe that they're low lit, so they're going to be under the impression that they've been highlight. And so far, Ryu's play has been so outstanding that we're still going to be nervous. And so right now, the big question is, are we going to get our missions done?
If our time management is good, I don't see any reason why we can't. And I don't think I think skrewwl00se will actually commit to missions and hopefully does not go for a timeout here. Especially on modern. Timeouts are pretty common, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. So right now we talked without doing the delegate. We can't wait too long. I actually kind of wish that uh, like it's funny because uh, uh, Rocker looks like it could have been a delegate because left right next to skrewwl00se went to bar, and then the next person that gets sent from that area is going to be the delegate. And we go back to bar, really full bar.
Yeah.
I do not think we should stay here. I think that we should leave here. We like, if we're going to be here, request drink and then leave unless we demand or something. And delegate timer expires. There's too many
Yeah,
people at bar.
that's the thing. Purloined is just an unreliable mission sometimes on this map. And that's why I personally just don't like it sometimes. They can just be very frustrating
Oh, and then we
with
wait that
getting
long
it
and we
off.
don't pick up a delegate, or we don't even pick up a possible delegate. I'm really concerned here that we're not going to finish.
Yeah, we're gonna have to kind of go crazy, but maybe like not getting a highlight here will save us some. Like maybe skrewwl00se understands that he's not being watched right now.
All right, well, we'll see. This would actually be a great time for a time ad based upon. Here we go, perfect. I love it. The fact that he knows he's gotten a little bit unlucky with some of the delegate and some of the things he's had to do. I love the decision to actually try to make up some of that time just via time ad right in the middle of the game too, when it doesn't feel like it's necessary yet, but man, it is necessary. So great work.
Yeah, great instincts there. I think that at least shows a sign of life here that Skrewwl00se will actually get missions done. I was a little concerned at first, but I think he understands what he needs to do now in order to win this game.
And based on how Ryooo has been playing, it does not seem like he's the type where some snipers, they're excellent snipers, but maybe they're a little bit quick to pull the trigger. It does not feel like Ryooo is that type of sniper. So I think we've quickly identified that, like, as opposed to, for example, water meat versus portal freak, where they could identify that maybe they're a little bit quick to pull the trigger because they've been so successful in it. Ryooo has given no indication that they're going to be overly dramatic with their shots.
Banana
Yeah,
bread.
I actually don't like that decision there. If he hit a white test there on that flirt, he would have not gotten done, and we needed that time. But I do like the BB though to distract from the swap. That's really good.
Yeah. So only one more mission. And we do have plenty of time for this one. I am curious what the last one is going to be.
I
Either
think it's
if it's
bug, right?
if we
It's
can. Unfortunately, we're queens. We're kind of slow, and ambassador is going to a spot where we really don't really like bugging.
Yeah, we're gonna just have to wait for the ambassador to come back because otherwise we have no hope here. Here it
And it,
is.
all right, so we are going. We're using the briefcase as a justification to go for this. Oh wait, no, we should go for that briefcase. That okay, so I'm not so I love the decision to bug right there. I kind of wish we I'm just a big fan of using the briefcase as the justification for going near the ambassador at all or going through the path. So I kind of like him going for the briefcase there, even though it's kind of weird. You don't want to pick up a briefcase because it might give you extra suspicion. But it's the reason why you went over there, unless you're just depending on it for just being, oh, randomly, I just decided to path over here. That said, we did our missions done, and that was the concern. So
Yep.
great work.
And Skrewwl00se gets a spy win. Just a
Yeah,
win in
that's actually
general.
we were talking about this, Slappy Davis, that you need to win that like tilts the sniper. This honestly could be the one where it's just like, well, I low at the spy because I was trying to low light the SDA.
Yeah.
That
Well,
that
in
hurts a
chat,
lot.
Ryooo says that it was a behavioral low light. He observed that Skrewwl00se rarely goes to bookcases at the start. That was just
Wow. So this is making a really big read early on like that, just sticking with it. I guess that risk finally did not pay out there though. So
yeah.
good.
Well, like that's the thing with all sort of behavioral this stuff. Sometimes it's gonna be wrong. If you have this sort of like these are things that this player never does. Sometimes they're gonna do those things. You just gotta you have to use that to adjust your list of things that this player never does. Change it to this player normally does not, sort of thing. All right. Anyway, on to the this I believe is a final game on Modern. Let's see if Skrewwl00se can continue his streak here and get a sniper win here in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And so technically the behavioral aspect of that low light wasn't actually wrong. The reason he went to bookcase is because AI took him there. So that just shows a little bit perhaps of the risk of doing low lights very, very early
Yeah.
before some of the actual decision making could go on. Because Ryooo could have actually been completely right where Skrewwl00se might never do that, but he got put there.
Now this looks like some more standard Rio play. Just going quickly for these flirts, maybe looking for a fingerprint
Banana bread.
opportunity coming up. Gets this BB done. It's not awful. It's not the best one that you could have on Modern, but it's not bad at all, especially since all three SDAs are in conversation.
Yeah, no, it seems like a decent BB, and I've always been torn about how early do you like to BB on Modern. All else being equal, if you had the decision between BBing at 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, it's kind of a mixed bag because you can't. It's harder to use the BB later. I mean, of course, you can fake again later, but I like saving a little bit because it makes the sniper a little bit nervous about what's going to happen. now they're a little bit more comfortable because now they're only focused on 7 more missions. Now they might not be focused on BB that much, but they're more focused. And I have the same feelings about really early purloins on this map because one of the hard things about sniper is how many things you look for. We do pick up a highlight.
Yeah, I really do like this game plan by Ryooo though. He saw that the ambassador picked up picked up a statue, so planning ahead by getting these inspects early so that he can finish with inspect and print at the same time. Really good game plan awareness right there.
We really zoomed in on the purloin there. Nothing had happened, but we looked very, very closely to make sure that hadn't gone off.
Yeah, so we're clearly going to get flirt, inspect, print at the far left statues. But what's our last mission going to be? Bug? The cane bug is not as good as it used to be, but it's still not terrible.
Yeah, I just in general, I think that this game is a great way to, or just in general, Ryu spy play over the course of the matches today, um, have been a great way to show the approach to giving yourself tons of options as spy. Where if you rush, I mean, he's rushed, inspect, quote unquote, contact, seduce, and fingerprint. And that means that if he gets all those done, he only has to just do one hard tell. And that's the part where you can really see how the party's shaken out. And you don't have to force it. You can choose between one of those quick to do, but obvious hard tells.
And here we go, delegating into a statue. I really do like this because
Yeah,
if you're not paying
fingerprints.
attention, not going to be noticed. And yeah, gets those inspects and fingerprints. So now we seduce and purloin for the win. This has been a really solid game from Ryooo. Let's see if skrewwl00se is on top of this purloin. He was watching purloin very heavily earlier, so I'm curious if he's suspicious of this play at all.
It looks like it doesn't go off in time. So we do still have to do a hard tell.
That stop talk was pretty blatant. Seduce, purloin, mission win countdown. I love the timing. Can he take the shot?
Oh, I would have lost to Ryu straight up. I think this game, and it was just fantastic play.
Yeah,
I
that
also
was
like the fact that he took a book away, right? Because taking a book away, you usually don't want to shoot someone that has a book away because you know they have not finished microfilm unless
Yep.
they've visited just 3 times. You take the book away, it's like, hey, you
Like-
don't even want to bait them into shooting
Yeah.
you.
like, I still have something to do with this book, right? Clearly,
Right.
I've got, I got to transfer this somewhere or take the microphone out. Yeah, it's a good strat. Although here in this case, it seems that there was, didn't seem to be a lot of heat on him despite the highlight.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like this game is like the perfect way you'd play against someone like Crazy Kaylee. Not worrying too much about behavioral tells, about rushing soft tells. Versus someone like KCM, this would be like the worst way you could imaginably play. Just like
Yeah.
it's just so spy like. But versus someone like skrewwl00se who's not really going to be watching for those behavioral tells, this game was, I would say, almost flawless.
Yes, I totally agree.
All right. Anyway, we're moving on to gallery. And right now, Ryoo's still sitting at a pretty massive lead of 7-1 currently. The skrewwl00se is definitely gonna need to be winning every game from here on out, right?
I will say
Yeah,
that
he can only give
pretty
up
much.
one.
Yeah.
He can only give up one game, but I mean, expecting to win a spy every time is not realistic. So
Yeah. So
gotta
it's
keep this.
gonna be tough. It's possible. I mean, there have been full comebacks in the past, but those were when the sets were a lot shorter. So it would be tough, but definitely it could happen. And let's find out how it goes in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, so I'm curious to see how skrewwl00se is going to approach gallery, which is just a bit of an odd map. We do get the nice early seduce, and pretty much free. Ooh, if we could go for a nice early purloin, I do like this decision. If it had been green, it would have been amazing. But all right, I think we had to take risks like this though.
That's purloin for you. If you
Yeah.
green, you win. If you white, you lose.
Yep.
Yeah, often. Yeah, unfortunately, that it was just not a lot else was happening. The ambassador was in frame as well, so and all the statues were also free, so there just wasn't much else to look at.
Yeah, and had he gotten away with that, that was going to be an extremely strong start on
Yeah.
gallery, and he had to do something to break Ryu, and he gambled a little bit, but I totally respect
All
the
right, and
gamble.
with that, Ryu is now one away from locking this down as a potentially 9-1 victory. So Screwloose, if he wants to uh, have any chance of winning, he needs to win the next 7. On top of that, he would need to also win a tiebreaker. So he needs to win, just 8 in a row. It can happen. All right, let me set this. All right, we're ready to go. We go in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
The interesting, so competitively, we're in an interesting position here as Screwloose, because mentally there's a big difference between almost being kind of deflated versus being stressed. And I think right now we're more in the position of being deflated rather than like high stress situations. So what I mean by that is like high stress situation is what we had in the Water Meat versus Portal Freaks in set, right? Where both of those players were at very high stress. But I would say that Screwloose at this point is probably just a little discouraged and going to be it's hard to see how you approach this game, but it's going to be a little bit different than the high stress kind of approach.
True. I think definitely when you get deflated or you get discouraged, you start playing more loose, and that like can backfire on you or it can pay off really well. You just like trust your instincts more. You start taking more aggressive shots, so that can start like either really working out for you or not, which I think is what he needs to do here.
Right.
Play aggressive, even as sniper. I think if you can get an encouraging win as a sniper,
Banana
you
bread.
can maybe maintain the momentum. Winning 7 games in a row though is no easy feat though.
Yeah, at this point, honestly, it's going to be more of a the beginning of it is you're probably not going to let yourself believe that a comeback is possible at this point. It's more about, well, I actually just would like to just get as many wins as I could, just out of pride or out of competitive experience. Right now, you're just playing against a really good player, and you want to be able to show that you're at least up in their league, even if you're going to lose this set. Get the bug off, and is not seen. It was a standing bug, I believe.
Yep, just waited until the ambassador got in conversation. Screwloose was zoomed in, so not going to be noticing that at all.
I think Ryooo looks so comfortable as Spy right now, just willing to just do whatever they want, as if we were playing against like the laser in practice mode, where it's like, I don't trust that you're going to be willing to shoot for things like if I get the bug off, I'm just going to inspect, seduce. I don't think you're going to shoot. We might even join our seduction target statues. That's going to be a little bit tough to pull, but it looks like we're going to get it done. I'm always a little bit nervous joining people at statues as wheels because it doesn't feel like I'm ever going to fit on that pad. But you do. You're still the same size.
It looked like Screwloose did notice. His laser did swivel, like he noticed that it was too long there at the
Oh,
statues,
but
but
anyway,
not gonna shoot.
with that, Ryu or Rio has a pretty dominant win in this set. Let's see. Let me check and see who the next opponent is. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So that was week 2. All right. So it looks like next week Rio will be playing Dagrin on the ninth seed. So a strong player. I guess Dagrin was one of the people who had a bye for the first week.
Yeah, I think that should be a pretty even matchup. Rio did win all of his matches. He's been playing quite a bit, so I think it'll be a pretty
Yeah.
even competitive match for that too.
Yeah, it
A lot
looks
of
like
these
actually
like
just looking at this, Rio's week 1 match was also pretty dominant. He won 9-2, so he's going to be one to watch out for.
I'm also curious to see how. So Ryu is going to be playing in multiple tournaments at the same time. So I'm curious how the cross play between those is going to affect him, because right now he's been in the Summer Cup as well. And I think he looked fantastic in this set. I almost want to. I can't remember if I predicted him highly in the. Although he's in a tough group, I remember now. He's in a group with Royal Flush and Catnip. That is a tough group, but honestly, I think based on what I've seen here,
Yeah,
I
he
think
might. Yeah, he has a decent chance. That's for sure. All right. Anyway, that's it for the games. It was only 2 matches, but the first one especially was quite a quite an extended one.
and so close too. Like
Yeah.
really, even like not just like swings back and forth, but very much. I mean, for the first like 7 or 8 games, almost it was just like complete sniper dominance. And then actually just really interesting. They did take different approaches where one began to try to break sniper by doing rushes, and the other one tried to break sniper by, or just maybe didn't try to break, but got sniper to break by doing complete slow play into getting sniper to shoot the wrong person.
Yep. Anyway, those were fantastic games. Good luck to the winners. You got a long way to go before the finals. Looks like it's Yep. Okay. So yeah, this is what's it, 1, 2, 5. Oh, that's a 6. Oh damn, this is a 6-week tournament, so it's pretty rough.
It is, and that's going to be. Well, I guess it'll be shorter than Summer Cup for. Well, unless I guess actually, I am assuming you make it out of the group stages. I forget that Summer Cup is actually variable in length, much more than SCL.
Yep.
Although I guess SCL is very variable in length for challengers. My God, I mean, I feel like I had to play a lot of competitive SpyParty, but I really didn't because Platinum fell apart. And
Yep.
so I can't imagine how stressful that is actually for people that had
Yep.
to split.
Yeah, I played just enough competitive SpyParty this season. I'm kind of glad I didn't need to finish up. Like, just lock it down and then just stop playing.
Right. Although you will have, you haven't played your match versus Varanus yet.
Not yet. Yep, I have not heard back from Varanus yet. Must be busy or something like that. Who knows? We'll see.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, props to props to both of you guys.
Yeah.
You two were the best at finishing your games in Platinum.
Yeah.
Especially you, and especially Varanus, because Varanus was one of the. We didn't finish our games. A lot of us are in the same state. I want to say, like we're all in the same time zone. We had trouble finishing our games.
Yeah, yeah,
Ron,
yeah.
you
Actually,
and
yeah.
me
Four.
and cameraman, we're all in
Yeah,
Pacific.
four of the 6 of us are in the same time zone, and 3 of the 6 are in the same state, and we're both like, you know,
Yeah.
pretty much not quite neighbors, but
Right, we could
within
have
the
driven.
same.
I could have driven to your house and
Yeah.
just done the game right there. But yeah, yeah. So I will just do a very general shout out to the international community, especially for getting your games done. We in Platinum didn't even do the best job, even when we were in the same like time zone. But big props to Varanus and the other European players and international players altogether. I think Ryooo is looks like French.
Yeah, French.
Big props to the cross time zone plays, because I know that is not always the most convenient.
Yeah.
But even across all nations, we love
Yeah,
this game.
especially in Challenger, where they don't have any chance for makeup games, because the Swiss format doesn't really allow for that.
Very true.
All right. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with another couple. I believe we're just going to do more Challenger games. Although
Yes, well, the
we
first
may
match is
also,
gonna
I don't know if
be,
are we also going to do
gold. I think.
gold? Yeah. So
Yeah.
so from what I've seen, gold going to be quite a match to watch. It's Falconet versus Pwn Noob. Both of them have been talking a little bit of trash, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, I think it's definitely a grudge match more than anything, because
Yeah.
I mean, they know that both of them are getting into platinum. I mean, also like SCL might get reformed.
Yeah, I mean,
but they do know.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely like might be all of gold getting into platinum, given the state of platinum now. It's just gonna be. I think you're gonna be the only. It's just gonna be you and Veranos again, unless Veranos manages to stomp on me. We'll see.
Right. Yeah. So the 2 matches tomorrow are really interesting, because the first match of today will have was Water Freak. I always keep saying Water Freak and Portal something.
Yep.
But
Portal
Water Meat, Portal Meat and Water Freak. No. So water meat is going to be playing. We're saying chef, right? I want to say tomorrow.
Yes.
So the outcome of what was a fantastic set and also very exhausting set, I'm sure for both players, is gonna that will be concluded at least. Well, at least I shouldn't say concluded. It'll be continued tomorrow in the first set, and then a fantastic gold finals of really strong rivals
Yep.
tomorrow for the second set. So I'm definitely gonna tune for that because those are both really personally interesting games now.
Yep. All right. Anyway, that was excellent. Thank you, casters.
You're very welcome.
And this game is Spy Party. If you want to buy it, you can go over to SpyParty.com, or you can also pick it up from Steam. It is $25. It is a fantastic game.
I also want to
That's
shout out Klitos as host. Thank you so much. I think
Yep.
hosting is. I'm glad that we also kept you on basically as like the couch analyst, which I
Yep.
think that the host should almost always be doing because hosting is hosting.
Yep.
This wasn't too long. I am glad that we did 2 instead of 3. But sometimes, man, near the end of hosting, sometimes my brain just starts turning off. So props to the host. Also, beautiful graphics. The production value. It's stupid. It's stupid high. I never want to host again because of how far you and Hummus have taken this. It's crazy. Oh, and Dowsy too. Like you guys are all insane with your production values. It's
Compile
crazy.
with the art it's
Yep.
amazing. How much it just like season 2 to season 3, just the complete difference.
Yep.
Yeah. Get this game, best community, best game, best streams.
Yep. Thank
Get
you
it for
all.
25.
All right. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.